Drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
We made, and I repeat, we made
A grand total.
a grand total in 2018.
That's just sad.
You're now tuning into the Florida Fishing Podcast and Show with co-hosts Tim Summer and Ty Nelson.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the Florida Fishing Podcast. This is your co-host, Ty Nelson. I'm here today with my fellow co-host,
Tim Summer. And today we have something really special for you guys. It's going off script a little bit. Typically we talk about fishing, but we decided 2019 we're going to try something a little bit differently with our podcast.
That's right.
Just pure entertainment.
Pure entertainment. Now we're going for transparency. That's the goal this year. And with that, that kind of leads us to our discussion today, which is based on 5 things we spent more money on than our salaries in 2018. I feel like that's a pretty crazy thing to talk about because most companies wouldn't discuss that. CEOs of their companies or small business owners wouldn't discuss what they make in their company. But I feel like after reading this recent article, which we'll get to in just a few minutes, it inspired me and Tim to want to talk about this and really talk about the ins and outs of owning a small business. But first, I wanted to say Happy New Year to all you people. It is January 2nd, 2019, which means we made it through another year. Congratulations. Some awesome things happened in 2018. Some unfortunate things happened in 2018. But overall, I'd say it was a pretty good year. But I'm really looking forward to 2019. So I do want to cover some things that we're working on right now that we're going to be launching in 2019. One of those would be weekly podcasts. That's something that we're working on this very second. What do you know?
Look at that.
You know, I'm really concerned that Tim's not going to be able to do it every single week, but that's okay. We're going to strive to put out some sort.
Whoa.
What?
What about the weeks that you can't do it?
I'm not going to miss a week ever, most likely. Most likely I'll be there every Thursday night ever. And if we can't do it Thursday night, I'll be able to schedule around it. But, you know.
Either way.
You got a wife, you got a kid, you got all these excuses.
Either way.
I'm going to make it happen.
What he's saying is we're not going to let you down even if we have to do a solo pod.
All right.
Right?
Don't make any promises we can't break.
Can we call it the
or
pod?
We can't make. The pod?
The solo pods.
Like Tide Pods?
Tide Pods.
That was a thing in 2018.
That was a 2018 trend.
Don't eat Tide Pods, kids. Tide Pods.
Tide
Pods?
Tide
Pods. Not good. Also, we're going to be looking to do more weekly content. It's difficult right now. We're a 2-man operation with 2 interns, and so to pump out weekly content, it takes a lot of time to either shoot video, shoot photos, to come up with the articles themselves and write that up. So it's been difficult, but that is something we really want to focus on this year. We want to bring all of you listeners more content each and every week. So that's outside of just our podcast. We want to do some other content that's fishing related as well.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, Tim and I will be heading to China for China Fish in 2019. That'll actually be in February. So we're really looking forward to that. There we'll be looking to find some new manufacturers, looking at some new reels. We're looking to be doing larger reels, which I know we've been talking about for a long time now, and we really want to make that happen here in 2019. We're looking at some different braided line. Right now, Distance is a phenomenal braided line. It's great for sight fishing, especially for artificial fishing. We are looking for something that's a little more guide friendly.
Real quick, let's talk about that Distance braided line a little bit. So that was a new product in 2018, and we've seen a lot of success with that. It's a fantastic line. If you haven't tried it, try it. We wanted to also launch a new color for Black Friday this year, but those plans are spoiled because there was a misprint on the box. However, we are going to get that into your hands as soon as we get stickers to put over the misprint.
So shortly here in 2019, we'll have a new color of our Distance braided line, which we think is going to be really awesome. We think you guys are really going to enjoy it, and hopefully for those people that don't like the gray are really going to like this new color, which we'll be launching here soon. We're also going to be looking to bring out some fluorocarbon leader. Obviously, there's a couple different companies on the market that are kind of have like a stronghold on the market. We're actually looking to. There goes the AC. Wonderful. It is getting hot in here, so I may just let it roll. But we're looking to bring out some new fluorocarbon leader, some larger spools, because a lot of times you only get 25 yards, which honestly isn't that much. If you fish on a regular basis, if you're a guide, you probably go through 25 yards in a week.
Yeah.
Also, I think we want to have a better fluorocarbon and also a more cost-effective fluorocarbon. I think by offering larger spools, we'll be able to bring the price down, which will be better for the fishing guides, for the weekend warriors, and for the tournament fishermen that are using a lot of fluorocarbon on a regular basis. And other than that, we have much more, but we'll get to that throughout the year. If you come back and check in on the Florida Fishing Podcast, you'll be able to hear and listen in on all the things that we're doing here at Florida Fishing Products. So each week we'll try and do an introduction and kind of talk about what we're working on and continue to try and be transparent and just let you guys know where we're at. So anyways, that brings us to this week's discussion.
The main segment of the week.
Ooh, 5 things we spent more money on than our salaries in 2018. Man.
So this was funny. Why don't you tell them where you were inspired by the Hustle?
So
this email list.
I was inspired by the Hustle, which is an entrepreneurial email blast. It's a daily email blast that goes out. It talks about pretty much everything in the entrepreneurial realm. A lot of times it's talking about what's going on with different CEOs. So every time Elon Musk does something silly, they make sure they talk about that. They're talking about different IPOs for companies that are getting ready to launch publicly. They're talking about investment. A lot of these smaller startup companies are getting huge numbers of investment, from $1 million to a couple $100 million, and they're talking about valuations of these companies as well. But this week, the CEO, Sam, from The Hustle, was talking about the salary that he made the first 2 years of The Hustle. I think they're in year 3 now. They've done a great job. They're a San Francisco-based company, and they have over 1 million subscribers, and I'm sure his salary is much larger now than it was. But year 1 and year 2, he made $20,000 the first year and $33,000. That's his salary that he paid himself in those 2 years. I think it was 2015 and 2016 is what he had put out there. And just to give you an idea, in San Francisco, average rent is almost $2,500 a month. So how he was able to afford living on that salary is beyond me. But then again, and he said in this article that a lot of young startup companies and the founders of those companies are telling similar stories. They're talking about making about the same amount of money that they made in their first few years as a company. So we're going into our 3rd year. We just finished our first 2 years, really our first full year being full-time with this.
Full-time.
But, we're entirely willing to disclose what we make because we want to be a transparent company, and ultimately we want to help other entrepreneurs that are looking to build a business. And we think those in the fishing industry will find this interesting. So You want to tell them what we made?
Drum roll. Drum
roll, please.
We made, and I repeat, we made
a grand total
in 2018.
That's just sad.
$12,000 for the year. You can ask my wife if you don't believe me.
Yeah, how you can have a wife and a child and make $12,000 a year is beyond me. Thankfully, you got a sugar mama for a wife. Hey, shout out to Lexi.
Shout out to Lex.
But no, seriously.
She's definitely awesome. But, she allows me to be able to do this. And then Ty made $1,000 and had to sell drugs on the side. No, I'm just kidding.
I did have to Airbnb out my house for 3 months in order to afford rent. I had a roommate that moved out, and so that I could afford rent, I was actually Airbnb out my house. I was kind of basing it off of, I was just assuming I was allowed to do it, when in the back of my head I kind of knew that I wasn't supposed to be doing it since I rent this house out. And recently I read my lease and I realized that I was not supposed to be Airbnb out my house. I didn't get into trouble, but I did decide that I was going to stop that. And instead, Tim and I are going to focus a little bit more on trying to scaling our business and also pay ourselves a more reasonable salary. And that's part of the reason we want to talk about this too. Being transparent, that's the goal. At the end of the day, we want to feed our families and be able to afford to live and also work in the industry that we love. And so here we are. That's what we're doing. So anyways, back to the 5 things we spend more money on than our salaries in 2018. We have number 1, which this one, doesn't really come as a shocker, but I don't think most people think about it.
Well, you don't really think about it because, you got, what's the first one? Shipping. First one, shipping. But when you think about shipping, we're so used to free shipping now with Amazon and any other e-commerce-based business. There's normally a threshold of free shipping, and ours for 2018, we just did free shipping all year, just any order free shipping, and we did that to bring our costs down for you guys, and really, I mean, did
ultimately to help get
Yeah.
more sales. We're a young business, and I think the more customers we can gain, the more we can prove to them through our customer service and through our products that we're going to be here for a long time, that we're going to be able to continue to serve their needs and your guys' needs. So I think that's really the main reason. We did it for the customers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The free shipping doesn't in any way, shape, or form help us out.
No.
It's really entirely giving back to the customers,
customer
incentivizing
service,
to purchase through our website. And sometimes our retail shops don't love that as much, but also there are, 60 plus retail shops all over the state of Florida that do sell our reels and are far more convenient, that you can go pick it up the day of instead of having to wait for that reel to be shipped to your doorstep.
Yeah.
So,
and we did raise shipping on our site for 2019. I want to mention, I don't want anyone coming to the site and be like, oh, you guys said you offer free shipping, but it's still $24.99. Any purchase over $24.99, you get free shipping. Right. A reel costs over $24.99. Anytime you buy a reel, it's going to ship free. Anytime you buy pretty much anything but like a hat, it's going to ship free.
And the reason behind that is because it completely cuts out the profitability on smaller items that are less than $25 if we have to pay $3 or $4 for shipping.
Here's a secret: if you buy a hat and you don't want to pay $6.95 for shipping, add like a sticker or two to your cart, and then just get over the $24.99 threshold. Mm-hmm. And then you get a couple stickers, whatever. You can,
some pretty sweet stickers, which we're going to be working on more stickers here in 2019, something that we got away from.
Yeah.
So, that was one big thing that we spent a lot of money. I'd say almost, if we took our salaries combined, that's about what our shipping costs for 2019. Or sorry, for 2018.
2018.
So this brings us to number 2, which also isn't a complete surprise for us, but it still is pretty amazing, honestly. This is an amazing thing we're able to do. We were able to raise more money for conservation in 2018 than we paid ourselves salaries. So I think part of that is maybe we didn't fully think out the Fish Better campaign when we first launched it. But another part of that is that we were successful with that campaign, and we were able to raise a lot of money for the conservation partners that we work with. Mm-hmm. And I'm personally really proud of that.
And I'm excited because we still have yet to write those checks. We're going to be writing them next week. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. It's a good thing that we're doing there. I mean,
right.
Especially with a lot of the organizations we work with, we support, and I'm excited to write Captain's Clean Water a nice little check. I'm excited to write BTT a nice little check. Yeah, it'll be pretty good. So, Daniel, you got a check coming your way soon.
Yeah, they probably don't even realize it, but when it shows up on their doorstep, they're going to be happy. But yeah, there are a lot of water quality issues that we've been facing in Florida, and that's why we've chosen to pair up with specific conservation organizations. And really, we want to do everything we can to help them in this fight, because this directly affects us and our business, which means it affects our livelihood, which means it affects our families. And at the end of the day, that's what we care about, is we want to take care of our families and be able to make a living in the fishing industry, which is an industry that we love. So it's important that we take care of the water that we all fish.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what we're called to as Christians. We are called to, basically take care of God's creation. And so we think through this business that should be one of our main things. And it's been one of our main pillars since day one. Customer service, conservation, and community.
And it will continue to be. And we don't plan to take away our 3% back to conservation. We plan to keep that and maybe
even increase it in the future.
Even increase it in the future would be the hope. So yeah, we're also, I think in 2019, we're looking to drill down and narrow in a lot of those efforts. The last few years, we've been trying to find our place in all that and how that all work, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think we finally understand what our role can actually be in this whole fight.
Right.
So we're excited. I mean, we got a lot of cool stuff that we're dreaming up, we're planning up, and that we're going to roll out in 2019.
For sure. And I feel like this is a great time to thank the Tampa Bay Fishing Club here in Tampa. They've helped us, and we've helped them. Really, it's gone, I guess, hand-in-hand partnership with multiple community cleanups we've been able to host. I think we've done 3 so far in the last 3 quarters, and we're going to do another one upcoming this quarter, hopefully in February or March. We've been able to pick up thousands of pounds of trash up in the Long Tampa Bay, and we've gotten a lot of kids involved, which is my favorite thing about these events. We've got kids out there picking up trash and setting a good example and a good standard for how we're supposed to act when we're out there on the water. Bring back more than you take really, that's my goal every time I go out. And I think that should be the goal of every fisherman. There's a lot of anglers out in the water nowadays. If each one of us has brought back more than we took, our estuaries be looking a lot better. So thank you, Tampa Bay Fishing Club, for helping us out with that particular event.
Yeah.
So that brings us to number 3. You don't have your notebook in front of you. I don't know why you do that, but
What do you mean?
You're using my notebook. You had your own notebook.
Oh, I know. I left it in the office.
In there, but that's okay. If you want to do this one though, it's right
look
there.
over. Oh, yeah. So I think the next 3 are a little more surprising. Number 3 on this list of things we've spent more money on than our salary. This one is probably the most painful. The next 2 are probably the most painful of the bunch, but this one especially. High interest loan payments. We with the growth that we've had over the past few years, we've had to borrow money, and being such a young company and young people as well, with not a lot of track record of salaries being taken in and all the stuff you need to qualify for traditional loans. We had to take on certain high interest short-term loans, which are ridiculous. Some interest rates up to 20%. So we spent probably 2 or 3 times more on interest payments alone than we have in than we paid ourselves. And that one hurts because and it's only because of you guys ultimately just
Right.
buying the crap out of our reels.
Yep.
And which is amazing. We've had to, this was the first year that we didn't run out of stock, and that's because because the demand.
Starting in February.
Starting in
we were
February,
out of
yeah.
stock in January 2018. Hopefully 2019 will be the first full 12-month span that we will not be running out of one of our models of reels or any of our other products.
So for that, it's a bittersweet because we had to take out loans because of how quickly we were growing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the short-term loan payments are difficult, and anyone who runs a small business, I think, could testify, and they understand and know.
Yeah.
So that one was not surprising, but that one is probably pretty.
Right.
It's a bittersweet.
Definitely bittersweet. I think a lot of those that are listening in, they probably didn't realize that, we would pay that much in interest payments. But that's really, if you're under 3 years old as a business, you don't have enough of a track record to get traditional funding. In addition, if you don't have any salary or money backing you up, which Tim and I basically started right out of college with this business, so we didn't have any previous salaries, like large salaries to back this. We didn't have a lot of funding or savings to back this business either. So, we didn't have any ways of getting traditional funding. And finally, here in 2019, we're getting to that 3-year mark. We're getting to a place where we have a track record, and we're going to be able to lower this interest payments, hopefully increase our salaries. Tim's got a baby to pay for, baby Ruth. The
Baby
world
Ruth, shout out.
revolves around her at this point.
It's Ruth's world.
It's Ruth's world. We're just living in it. So we got to make sure that she's got diapers and food on the table, and we got to make sure Tim's wife is happy.
Yep.
That's important.
Oh, yeah, that's the number one thing there.
So, yeah, interest payments.
So that was number 3. Yeah, so number 3. And
number 4 is one I feel like a lot of us complain about on a regular basis. All of us. I wouldn't say every American, but a large majority of Americans complain about this. And if you talk about politics, there's always 2 differing sides about this. But in the day, no one enjoys paying Uncle Sam taxes. But, there are a lot of good things that come from taxes. But for me personally, I don't even know what our sales and use tax exactly goes towards. But I know that we pay more money. We paid more money in 2018 to our sales and use tax than we paid our salaries.
the thing is, they keep going up.
They do.
They keep going up. I mean, I think we just voted in Tampa here. Hillsborough County just put a whole percentage.
Yep.
I think it was 7.5%. Now it's 8.5%.
Yep.
8.5% of every sale, everything we buy, 8.5% goes to fixing a pothole. Actually, oh, man, we could rant. I could rant. But
fixing potholes. They don't actually fix potholes.
They don't fix the potholes. And
I think that's the whole reason the Domino's did that whole deal where they were like talking about fixing roads, paving roads. I'm pretty sure this for-profit corporation, Domino's, as everyone knows them, the pizza moguls, they were fixing roads, fixing potholes simply because our government wasn't doing it.
Too slow. And have you seen?
Boom! There goes the AC. I was getting a little bit warm. I'm glad it's here. I'm sorry to the listeners. You have to hear the AC. We're running on low budget today, which
I hope you can see this.
We can. I'm just gonna stop for a second because why not? We're in the middle of the podcast. This is our podcast, so we can do whatever we want. We're actually in a new office. We didn't build these walls ourselves. We had a friend build these walls behind us, but we did paint the walls. We put the trim in, put the baseboards in. We laid this flooring. Look at this. Learning new skills.
First time we ever laid flooring. It was pretty awesome.
So this is our new office space. You can see we don't even have doors yet, but we're getting there. This is my office. This is Tim's office. This is going to be our conference room right now where we're shooting. You can see where our conference room table is going to be. Got it measured out here. Got it taped out. You can see our legs. These are pretty cool. Little sturdy U-legs. Awesome. And there's our coffee table that we're currently using to shoot this podcast, which is hilarious. I told Tim he wanted to wait till we got things together to show you guys how well put together that we are. So I told him, now let's just do this. Let's be transparent. Let's show him how it is right now. We're in a new office. Things were crazy going through the Christmas season, and these are some of the fruits of our labor. New office space. But with that comes more. What's up?
Back to sales tax. Oh, man. Yeah, no. So, yeah, we're working in... we're back.
Yeah, video
cut, yeah. So we got, new office. That's our third office in 3 years.
Third office in 3 years.
Yeah, third office in 3 years.
I think 9 years in a row. Since my freshman year of college, I've moved every single year, whether it be my house. For like 7 years, I moved houses, and then for 3 years, I've moved offices.
I feel like we need to give, all right, so shout out to, so we attend the Heights Church in Tampa, Florida. Mm-hmm. It's off of Hillsborough, West Hillsborough Ave in Tampa. And there is a building that the church was not using. So Ty and myself approached the pastors of the church, Drew and Brandon, and we said, yo, can we repurpose this building and use it as FFP headquarters? And they said, sure.
This is where we plug in the photos of how bad this place looked before this.
Do like a before and after type of
before
deal.
and after.
Yeah. So we basically gutted this whole place, renovated it, and they gave us, it was a huge blessing by the church for us to be able to run a local business out of here and kind of, use a space that wasn't being used. So if you're in Tampa, hit us up, stop by, check it out, come by for a cup of coffee.
The outside still isn't the most aesthetically pleasing, but it's getting there. Hopefully soon we'll repaint it and have new murals. But first we need to get some doors on our offices and our conference room. And then maybe build our conference table. And then after that, we can start painting some walls. So it's a bit of a process. And I think the cool thing about shooting the video is that you guys will be able to see how this is going to completely change over the next month to 2 months. This room that we're in right now is literally, this is the headquarters for Florida Fishing Products, and it's going to completely change over the next few months. And I'm excited to show you guys that.
Yeah, should be cool.
But yeah, so back to
sales tax. We spent a lot of money in sales tax.
Yeah, a lot of money.
I don't know. I think
I will say we're not the ones necessarily paying for it. At the end of the day, it does come out of the consumer's pockets.
Right.
What we're doing is we're collecting it, and then we end up paying.
So I guess this is something that they've spent more than. So you guys have spent more on sales tax this year than we have paid ourselves. I mean, if the government eased up on that a little bit, then we probably would be able to pay ourselves a better salary, which means Ruthie might have some new clothes. Yeah. Tax cuts will help us, though.
Definitely. So
anyway,
that was number 4. We've spent more on sales tax this year than we did on salaries.
So
number 5.
This one's interesting because there's also some good news that we want to also announce because. This is a lot of, we sound like, oh, woe is us, we only make this much, but that's not the case. I mean, we only make this much.
We only pay ourselves
this much. So at the end of this one, there's an announcement that we're excited to, share with you guys. So, number 5 is employees, employee.
Employees, intern, and our director of sales.
Yeah, so we spend more money on our employees than we do our own salary. So we pay other people who work for us
with us.
I
don't like to say for us.
Yeah, with us.
It's more of like a collaboration
in the team. They're part of the team.
And we pay them more than we pay us, so it's almost like we work for them. sometimes.
They're the boss.
Yeah.
They make more. Anyway, people.
We pay our employees
more.
more than we pay ourselves, and I think part of that is we want to incentivize people to work with us. We understand as a young new business, like we see the long-term potential with this, and when we bring people on board, we don't necessarily want them to work for less than they're worth. So we want we try and pay them what they are worth, and sometimes that means that we have to take salary cuts ourselves and pay those that work with us who are talented in areas that we aren't so talented, and we end up paying them more than we pay ourselves. And on average, we paid basically our employees 50% more than we paid ourselves here in 2018. So that was cool.
So 2019, we are looking, hopefully pretty soon, within the next month or two, to hire an employee,
like office manager.
An office manager. We need help. Basically, this role, we haven't laid out 100% of the details, but we have a very good idea of what we want this person to do. And basically, they'd be the office / I guess kind of warehouse manager.
Yep.
And basically, what that'll do is really take a lot of free up, really most of my schedule for me to focus on other things that I am talented at and good at, which would be stickers.
He's great at making stickers. He's really, really good at making stickers.
Making stickers and other graphic work and the website. I really want to focus on the website, give you guys a better experience on there. We have a bunch of other stuff that I would love to do for the company. Mm-hmm. And but in order to do that, we need to free up my time. Right now, I've been doing all the packing and shipping, all the ordering of the products, the
customer
service, which just as we grow, that grows too, and it's demanded probably pretty much all of my time working. So
basically, we're looking for someone that's organized, that communicates well, that is well spoken, that can help with the day-to-day operations of the business. Really, they're going to be the voice of the business. We're traveling around a lot, and we only have so much time each week, and so we need someone that can basically run the day-to-day operations of Florida Fishing Products along with us, which includes packing, shipping, customer service, inventory management, and a few other things. So if you know anyone that is interested in working in the fishing industry and has an interest in working with a small business that has a lot of potential for growth and opportunities in the future, I think you should definitely recommend that they check out Florida Fishing Products. To reach out to us at info@floridafishingproducts.com. There's also multiple other social media channels they can reach out to us on at Florida_fishing_products on Instagram, Florida Fishing Products on Facebook, directly through our website at floridafishingproducts.com. There's endless ways for you guys to
if you reach out, if you contact us through whatever channel,
someone will get back to you.
Someone, either Ty or I, will get back to you. Send it in. Send in your resume or whatever. Just even if it's just an email, like, hey, I'm interested in working. Just let us know. We'll take it from there. But that's 5 things. That was kind of fun.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Kind of scary too.
Kind of scary,
but at the end of the day, we want to be transparent. We want people to understand that this is a small business, that we a lot of times, I think on the outside it looks much larger than it actually is, and that's kind of our goal. We want to portray the vision that we are a large corporation while managing it as a small business on the inside, and that means a lot of times we have to work longer hours than we want to, and we have to take on more responsibility than we really want to. And so
and I think a company as well is only as good as its audience, its customers.
Yeah.
So what we want to do, especially in the early stages of our company, is our customer base is the most important thing to us, at this point. So why wouldn't we want them to know who we are as a company? Like inside the company, it's one thing to put a logo on the internet and say, oh, I know Florida Fishing Products. And it's another thing to go on our YouTube and see,
this
Ty and Tim
and
the new office manager working, and eventually we're going to show you how we pack and ship and how we do everything, how we operate as a company, we're really excited about it here in 2019. So where can they find you, Ty? Not FFPU. Where can they find you?
Oh, they can't find me.
Where can they
I'm
find
off
you?
the grid,
On
man.
the Instagram.
I'm off the
or
grid.
the Facebook or the
Well,
Instagram.
if you guys want to follow my personal Instagram account, it's Ty Nelson SW. I haven't posted much in the last year, primarily because we've been working hard. We don't make a lot of money, so there's not a lot of time for Instagram, and also because so many people reach out to us on a regular basis about free product, about working with us in different ways.
I just opened you up for more, buddy.
It's hard for me to respond to everybody. I'm a yes man. I